I guess we'll move on to the little bit of baseball
news. Yeah, so that happened last night. Maddox Lotta, who had so he's from Cal State, Fullerton. He was, I believe we mentioned him on the show, I'd say like a month ago. I remember hearing some intel from a source when I had a baseball source at that point, who said, yeah, he's in the running, but this is a guy who's also an MLB prospect. Yeah. So it's kind of up in the air right now. But he has committed to the program last night. He had a point, trying to think. So I think he started 53 or 56 games, kind of reading right down. He had a slashing line of 362, 486, and 503, which, again, we're talking about an A&M lineup that just did not hit consistently last season. He now joins Jake Dewar, Chris I always mess the name up. Halkopian, yes. To obviously replace Jace Lavalette, who's departing for the MLB draft. So it's one of those situations where Early deserves a ton of credit right now because he has done this in a very quiet way. He has not made any noise early. He's just kind of chugging away, and especially during the NCAA tournament, all the attention was on LSU, obviously winning the title, and other schools picking up big commitments. Texas has done a good job. So Jim Schlossing picked up a lot of good guys, on the mound and for the future lineup. But getting Lotta that basically solidifies your offense next season. And now I think the only question is Ryan Prager, is Justin Lampkin, and is Shane Sadeo, are they going to enter the MLB draft, or are they potentially going to come back for one more season? If the latter is the case, A&M is automatically a contender in 2026. I don't think anybody could deny that. I don't think anybody could dispute that. And I think that they have addressed the issues that plagued them the most this offseason, which was the hitting lineup, which was the batting lineup, which was a lack of consistent offense. You had a lot of guys hitting a ton of home runs, but at the same time, in key games, you weren't scoring enough runs. You weren't matching the opposing offense. And, it killed them in several SEC series.
It really did. And Lotta is a guy he is an MLB draft risk, right?
Yeah.
So, but I think you still have to take a chance on these guys no matter what.
Yeah.
Because 362 is what you said?
Yeah, it was. So yeah, his slashing line was 362, 486, 503. He had a .978 fielding percentage. So that's somebody who I think was also insurance defensively.
Yes.
At that point, so I think they knew that they had to throw that up.
He has Defensive Player of the Year honors from his league. If I'm not correct, over in the Big West.
Yes, he does as well.
But this is a guy you take on the defensive side of baseball. It's still funny for me to say that out loud, but he is he only had 5 errors in over 150, 200 times.
Yeah.
So you just need that overall consistency. And they've gone time and time again. I think this is 7 or 8 now?
I believe, yeah. It's close to time. I think they have 3. I'd have to look, but they have 3 pitching commitments. And I think the rest are infielders, outfielders. So I don't want to get tongue-tied here, but I think that Early has shown that this is the reason why Trev Alberts gave him a second chance. I think he's already proven that, because I think a lot of people started to doubt his ability to utilize the transfer portal correctly, which was kind of crazy to me, because I always thought that, look, it's going to be tough either way, because you're competing with every SEC program, you're competing with Big 12 programs, you're competing with Big 10 programs, and it's always going to be tough because some of these guys in this new NIL age, and when we knew that basically every key starter was returning outside of Jace Lavalette in that lineup, and we still haven't heard officials from Caden Kent and Ben Royo. But if you get those guys back, and now you have a lot in the mix with the rest of your additions, look, if you have issues at pitching, like a lot of teams do every year, and you have a new lineup that you believe is going to take some time, at least you have some offense. At least you have something to fall back on, because that was the biggest issue, like we talked about with A&M football, is that you want to talk about the quarterback. Well, I don't want to talk about the quarterback. I want to talk about the defensive lapses that hurt this team last season, because it's always easy to call out the head coach or call out the coordinator, but it's not as easy to call out the specific areas of weakness. But I think every Aggie fan knows that when you can hit the ball consistently, not just home runs, get on base and score runs and do it at a high level and get average to above average pitching, you're going to be an NCAA tournament team. Now, granted, it's going to be hard if you do lose so much starting talent on the mound, but at the same time, we haven't heard anything yet. Maybe that's good news for A&M regarding Prager, Lampkin, and Sadeo, at least 2 out of 3 of those guys. But we'll see. Obviously, the MLB draft is coming up soon, so it's going to be now or never if they commit or not, or if they commit to the program, or if they announce.
Yeah, I mean, you've said in previous shows, this takes a bit. Baseball takes a bit to actually get fully in depth, and there's a long time to go.
Yeah, and if you're we saw last year, if you're drafted, it doesn't mean you have to commit right away. So Sadeo is going to get drafted, and he can either sign with the team that drafts him, which we don't know. I mean, he's considered a still high-ish pick, but at the same time, if the money's not great and the future is slow, like having to play in the minor leagues for a very long time and having to rehab or what may have you, is going to A&M for one more season the best option? I think it is, but again, it's just very unknown with these guys because Prager, nobody thought that Prager was going to come back. I didn't believe he was coming back, and then he came back. So it's just and Justin Lampkin, I think it's an easier decision for him, but at the same time, he's in that same area as Sadeo, and he had his ups and downs this season. Obviously, he had his best performance against Georgia, so he's kind of riding that high. But I just think that if you're a pitcher, the biggest problem for you last year was you were having really good outings, and the offense couldn't come through. Well, now you have an offense. Now you have guys that on paper at least can help you out. So if you're coming back and you're having a better performance and you can rely on that batting lineup, I don't know why you wouldn't. That's just me, but everybody's going to make the decision monetarily of how their future is going to look. So it's going to be very interesting down the stretch.